to you live from the Cool Breeze AC broadcast facility. This is Knockout Radio, brought to you by 8 Man Strong.
Ready to take charge of your day? Bucked Up Energy Drinks are taking over the energy drink market. Find them at Walmart, Publix, GNC, and Vitamin Shop. Real energy and real focus. Get bucked up.
Experience the future of home comfort with Cool Breeze AC. Call them today at 727-954-3605 and let Mitch, Jimmy, and their team transform your living space into a haven of comfort.
Got bills? Looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is. As the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast and Texas, Staff Zone has plenty of work to go around, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go now to www.thestaffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
All right, we are back coming to you live from the Cool Breeze AC broadcast. What?
I want to salute you. And
first of all, you don't salute
veterans.
You don't salute inside.
Really?
First of all,
that's a thing.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Well,
I know they do in the movies.
But the Navy. I mean, it's not your Navy. I mean, once a Navy is always a Navy. Is that how it works?
It is,
Mike. Is that what it is? And if all Navy guys the same, like
no, they're not all the same.
Would a Sri Lankan Navy be the same as like a U.S. Navy? Like, are you guys all equal?
No,
because you do the same thing. It's just a different flag.
Well, it's not the same.
Well, I don't know if you ever did this on your old wooden ship named Diversity, but a Sri Lankan Navy dispatch ship rescued an elephant stranded in the middle of the ocean on a piece of land 10 miles off the coast. So I don't know about our Navy, but Sri Lanka is saving elephants out in the ocean. That's amazing.
I don't know how an elephant gets in the middle of the ocean. Escaped?
I don't know.
Sri Lanka.
Yeah, but
just walking around.
Exactly. Well, I understand, but you're escaping into the middle of the ocean. Maybe you should think about it before you go into the water.
But is that how the Navy's intended to be used? I mean, it's like firefighters going to save a kitten in a tree. Like, that's not their job. That's not what they do.
Correct. You're right.
Their job is to slide down the pole and pet the Dalmatian.
They don't have the poles anymore. Ask Jared Warren.
Well, speaking of polls,
or Steve Miocic.
Speaking of polls,
or Chris Lytle.
Yeah, or Chris.
Governor DeSantis made the strip club 21 and up. Now you can't work in the adult industry in Florida unless you're 21 years of age now. So thoughts on the state and the government getting involved?
I think I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not okay with tobacco products being sold only to 21-year-olds, though. I think if you're 18 years old, you should be able to smoke a cigarette. That's just my opinion.
I agree with you. If you're old enough to go in the military, if you're old enough to raise the right hand and not knowingly be willing to lay your life down, then yeah, you should be able to smoke a cigarette. You should be able to drink a beer,
dance on a pole.
I don't even mind if they said, okay, beer and wine is okay after 18. You can and save the hard stuff for when you're 21. I can live with that. But I think beer and wine should be open to 18-year-olds.
I think everything, if you're old enough to join the military, sacrifice your life, and the same as being a policeman or a fireman or any of that kind of stuff. I mean, drinking a beer, smoking a cigarette, I'm not a fan of.
Right.
I don't want it anywhere near me, but who is anybody to say you can't?
Right.
I mean, well, obviously the government.
Well, but see, like, if you go back to Tito Ortiz, a legendary, UFC fighter, MMA Hall of Fame career.
I wouldn't call him a legend. I don't know. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
All right, we'll get back to Tito in a minute. We'll get back to Tito. He's down in Cape Coral. But right now, across country, we will be in Denver on Friday. Today's media day as they get ready for UFC on ESPN this weekend. Let's welcome to the program Abdul, Razak, Alhassan. Abdul, how are you?
Yes. I'm good, yourself?
Not too bad. Just the beginning. It's Wednesday of Fight Week. What's Fight Week like for you? And I always ask this. Do you try to keep it the same every fight, or do you try to mix it up, just to mix it up?
I try to mix it up depending on how my mood feels like. And also depend on which coach up faster. So sometimes depend on everybody's energy. Hey, let's go do this. Let's go do that. So it just depends.
So I need to tell you this. I did about my 30 seconds of research, and I saw that you used to train with Johnny Hendricks. So I thought you would get a kick out of that. I still have the Bruce Buffer call as he's getting ready to call, and new welterweight champ. And, of course, they didn't because some judges were blind that night. But I was so sure and confident that Johnny Hendricks won that fight. I'm like, I'm going to tape Bruce Buffer just so I can always have this. I just thought it was funny when I saw that you trained with Johnny.
Yeah, that I remember that result, man. We were all so disappointed. I think all my MMA experience comes from Johnny Hendricks team.
What was it? What was it like being with him and training with him? Through his great run.
To be honest, it was great. Like I said, for me, I've always have a mental, like a strong mental. I guess because of my background, where I come from, and how you have to work hard to get everything you deserve. But when I started training with John Hendricks, I feel like when it comes to my mental, he helped me get to the next level. You guys know how that guy knocks everybody out.
Yes.
So he hits hard, just like training. He will hit me so hard. Sometimes I'll go home and I'll cry. I'm praying and I'm crying. I'm like, I swear to God, I cannot wait to get better to smash the shit out of him. In the beginning, it was really rough. But one thing, when I got my first MMA fight, I remember to myself, I swear to God, I was sitting on the couch like, "You motherfucker, what do you think you
He said trucker.
Me? That I haven't seen."
He said trucker. Hold on, I just got it for FCC. I just got to say you said trucker.
Okay. Oh, you talking to me?
Yeah, this is FCC, so we got to be careful on certain words. So I just had to.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah.
It's all good.
So I'm like, yeah, this guy hits so hard. Johnny hits so hard. So I'm like, there's nothing that the guy I'm about to fight can throw at me that I haven't seen before. There's nothing that he can do to me that I haven't seen before. So going in there, I went in there with the most craziest confidence ever.
That's great.
So he helped me a lot. He helped me improve, get to where I feel like I was supposed to be.
We had Johnny Hendricks on a Wednesday. As we all know, weigh-ins are Friday. And we just started talking about something. He goes, yeah, I'm 32 pounds over. And I'm like, huh? He goes, yeah, I'm 32 pounds over, but I'll be fine on Friday. And he weighed in on weight.
Yeah. Yes, that's Johnny for you. Yeah, that's Johnny. Johnny likes to hold on for the weight to the last minute to cut it. He's always been like that.
I've always said that my next weight cut will be my cremation.
Trust me. I wish I was like 2 inches taller or 4 inches taller. I'll go to heavyweight. I hate cutting weight.
22.
Yeah.
You did 22 years competing in judo. And I think you just answered my question. I was going to say, you're known for your knockouts more than your judo, but I guess you really learned a lot from Johnny Hendricks, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I feel like also that's another mistake I did. When I started training with him, I think they even liked me more because as a judo guy, for a wrestler like John Hendricks, I could throw him. Mm-hmm. They liked the way I could compete with him. But after my first fight and second fight, I got the knockout, I fell in love with the knockout instead. And I was like, to hell with the judo.
Well,
let's keep knocking people out.
Unfortunately, I think when Ronda knocked out Betcha Correia, I think she said she fell in love with the knockout too, and then she went in against Holly Holm, and it didn't work out too well for her. But
yes.
I've noticed. I've trained a lot of judo and jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai. And I've noticed. I was a wrestler in college, so I've noticed that judo guys have really good takedowns, but Brazilian straight BJJ guys do not. They have horrible takedowns.
Very.
Have you noticed that in the UFC when you go against the variety of different fighters that you're facing?
Yes, I have realized that, especially if they are jiu-jitsu guys, they're not really good at throwing people. Just like a lot of the jiu-jitsu competition, like when you're about to start, they will sit on the ground instead of trying to throw before. Yeah, I've noticed that. So anytime I'm going against like a jiu-jitsu person, I like to stand so I can throw them every time, get up, throw them again, get up.
So, Abdul, going back to Randy's comment about his next weight cut will be his cremation. I know in different faiths they have intermittent fasting, or they fast when the sun goes down. And so talk about your faith. Like, I know you praise God and you talk about praying, but talk about Allah for our national audience, to educate them on the difference in religion as far as the UFC and approach into faith, and regards to Powhatan and his openness to black magic. Is it an advantage? Does it matter? And what are your thoughts?
When it comes to Powhatan, I'll say I'm from Africa. I was raised with traditionalists. I was raised with Christians. I was raised with Muslim, because my dad is a Muslim and my mom was a Christian until she married my dad, and she became a Muslim too. My grandparents' side, they grew up they worship idols and that kind of stuff. The traditionalists, right? And I know those kind of black magic, they definitely worked, right? But when it comes to fighting, there's nothing that I feel like Powhatan has done wrong. If that's what he chooses to do, if it's helping him, there's nothing that I feel like he's done wrong, right? But also when it comes to the perspective of religion, being a Muslim, of course, from a religious aspect, that was wrong a bit, right? That's how we see it, because that's how religion tells us. And also for me, I'm a strong Muslim, right? Of course, I'm not to the level of like Khabib with the piety and all kind of stuff, but I was raised a Muslim. Everything I learned is a Muslim. Faith is Muslim. When I'm walking in the ring, I don't walk with nothing but God. I feel like if I don't pray to God the way I want to, the fight I don't feel it. When I walk in with God, and I come out with God. Of course, my life has gone through some crazy Sorry, I was trying to curse.
Ship.
Yeah. My life has taken a lot of roller coaster, test my faith, test my life, and everything. But religion has always helped me come back and find myself and ground myself. So I call myself like I'm a very religious person, a good religious Muslim.
Amen.
Good stuff. Abdul, let me ask you this, and I thought about if I want to bring this up, and I don't want to get political and all that kind of stuff, but, you mentioned, obviously coming from Ghana, and you mentioned about working hard. What would you tell the American people that have no clue outside of America? They take everything for granted here. The way the country is and the world right now is. What would you tell those people about be thankful and, what we have here in the States?
Yes, I would say, I swear to God, Americans are so blessed. Americans are so blessed, and I feel like a lot of them don't know how blessed they are. Even the most poorest person here who thinks he doesn't have nothing, if you go to Africa, it's a whole different level. Mm-hmm. Going back home, it's one of the most hardest things you can think of, especially when I came to America and I realized how free it is here and how easy you can eat. You can open your refrigerator, you can have food to eat. It's so crazy. Because from the age of 10, between 10 and 12, till I grew up, I don't think my parents even knew how I was able to eat. I had to find a way to feed myself. I had to hustle to feed myself. To find a way to come to America, I did everything on my own. From the age of 10 years old, I was struggling just to come to America so I can have a better life for me and my family. So coming here and realizing how easy it is with a lot of stuff, yes, they've taken a lot of guns. I feel like they don't know what struggle is until they go to Africa and see what real struggle is. You go days without food. Mm-hmm.
No, sorry. I was going to say for sure. I was watching a comedian who was from, I think he was from Ghana, and he was doing his set, and he said that he went up to this guy and they were talking about food, and the guy goes, "I'm starving." He goes, "No, you're in America. You're just hungry." And then he went back to Ghana and he went to somebody and they said the same thing, and the person goes, "I'm hungry," and the guy goes, "No, my friend, you're starving."
Oh man, I remember there's this few story that I remember, like when you get up, the first thing you're thinking of is, how am I going to be able to eat? And some days you're able to hustle, you can sell like copper, or you find metal on the